The lie we tell ourselves. It just happened. I was drunk. I didn't mean to. Those are the excuses people give when they cheat. But let me ask you something real simple. Did they accidentally fall on that bed? Did their lips slip into someone else's mouth? Did their pants unbutton themselves? No. Cheating is not a mistake. It's a decision. A series of little betrayals that end in one big one. And every time we call cheating a mistake, we insult the people who stayed loyal. We let cowards off the hook. We turn betrayal into a bad moment instead of what it really is, a conscious, selfish, premeditated act. So today we're stripping away the lies. We're diving deep into why people cheat, what really happens before the act, and why calling it a mistake might just be the biggest lie of all. It just happened. Real stories, real excuses. You've heard the stories. Maybe you've even lived one. The guy who swears it was just one time. The woman who says she was emotionally vulnerable. The classic. We were arguing. I felt alone, and he was just there for me. Sounds familiar, right? And society, for some reason, is obsessed with giving these people a pass. They made a mistake. A mistake? Let's define that. A mistake is forgetting your keys. A mistake is spelling someone's name wrong. Cheating? That's a pattern of choices. Let's walk through one story. A married man. Office party. Drinks are flowing. Coworker compliments his suit. They flirt. Later that night they text. Then they meet up again, innocently, at lunch. Then again. Until finally they're in a hotel room. And after it all blows up, what does he say? I don't know what happened. I just made a mistake. No. You made a map to your betrayal. And you followed it step by step. These stories aren't rare. They're everywhere. Cheating isn't usually a one-night slip. It's texting someone you shouldn't, entertaining the attention, hiding the messages, going out of your way to be where they are. And when you finally do the act, that's not a mistake. That's a destination you drove yourself to, with the windows down and the music loud. The question is, why do we let people call it an accident when they planned every turn? The blueprint of betrayal, what really happens before the cheating? Cheating doesn't begin in the bedroom. It begins in the mind. It starts with a thought. They're cute. Then it moves to a look. A stare held just a little too long. Then a DM. A flirty reply. Then the mental justifications begin. My partner doesn't make me feel seen. We've been distant lately. They understand me better than my wife does. From there it escalates. You delete messages. You start lying about where you're going. You turn innocent interactions into secret pleasures. You build a fantasy. By the time you cross the physical line, you've already cheated emotionally, mentally, and morally. And here's the key. At any point you could have stopped, but you didn't. You chose to take another step. And another. That's why cheating isn't impulsive. It's deliberate. There are decision points, little forks in the road where you say, yes, I'll keep talking to them. Yes, I'll meet up. Yes, I'll lie again. People say, I wasn't thinking clearly. No, you were thinking just fine. You just weren't thinking about the person you were betraying. And when someone gets caught, what do they always say? It meant nothing. But here's the thing. If it meant nothing, why risk everything? You didn't trip into betrayal. You built it with bricks made of small lies and selfish moments. One choice at a time. What science says, the psychology behind cheating. Let's look at what the research says. Why do people cheat? Scientists have studied this for years, and the answers are deeper than I was drunk. There are 4 common psychological drivers. 1. Emotional dissatisfaction. People cheat not because they're sex addicts, but because they feel unseen, unappreciated, or emotionally disconnected. 2. Low self-esteem. They seek validation through someone else's attention. It's not love they're chasing, it's a band-aid for insecurity. 3. Impulsivity and low self-control. Some people are just wired to chase risk. But here's the catch, even then they know it's wrong. 4. Opportunity and poor boundaries. They're in environments that invite cheating, and they don't set rules to protect their relationship. But in every case, the cheater still makes a choice. Studies show that people who cheat often justify their behavior. They say, it just happened, to avoid guilt. But that's a self-protection lie. The truth is, they wanted to cheat more than they wanted to honor the relationship. Even under the influence, people still make decisions. Your conscience doesn't vanish with alcohol. And when someone says, I wasn't in the right mind, ask this. Would they have done it if their partner was watching? No. Then they knew. They knew what they were doing, and they did it anyway. Psychology doesn't let them off the hook. It just reveals how deep the selfishness runs. Does intent matter? I didn't mean to hurt you. One of the biggest defenses cheaters use is, I didn't mean to hurt you, as if intent wipes away the damage. But let's break that down. If someone stabs you but says, I didn't mean to hurt you, are you suddenly healed? No. The damage is real, regardless of what they meant. In cheating, I didn't mean to hurt you really means, I was thinking only about myself. The pain is still there. The betrayal is still real. Your partner may have loved you, but they loved themselves more in that moment. They valued pleasure, attention, curiosity, or ego more than your trust. Intent doesn't erase impact. And if they really didn't mean to hurt you, they wouldn't have kept it secret. They wouldn't have lied. They wouldn't have only confessed after being caught. Intent without accountability is manipulation. It's emotional gaslighting. Because the truth is, they did mean to hurt you, they just didn't think they'd get caught. And when they did, the tears came not from regret, but from consequence. So no, intent doesn't let them off the hook. It exposes exactly where their priorities were. Would you take a cheater back? The real question. Now let's flip the mic. Would you take a cheater back? Some people say no, zero tolerance. Others say yes, people change. But before you answer, ask yourself this. Can you rebuild a house where the foundation was shattered by betrayal? Some couples do. They go to therapy. They rebuild trust. They work harder than ever. But most carry the scar forever. They smile in public. But in private, every text, every call, every late return home becomes a trigger. Forgiveness is beautiful, but repetition is reality. If they did it once, why wouldn't they do it again? And here's the uncomfortable truth. The moment you take a cheater back without consequences, you teach them something. I can betray you and still keep you. So, would you take a cheater back? Or would you walk away and say, loyalty isn't a lesson, it's a standard? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Someone out there needs to hear your take.